Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Our next interview, I think you'll really like. This is a young man that I was fortunate to meet 10 years ago already at a Make a Wish event at the Palace of Auburn Hills. His name's Glenn Ratledge. He's from Brownstown Township, which is a Detroit suburb. And when Glenn was very little, 14 months old, he had his first unexplained seizure. And these seizures were continuous and they were life threatening, especially being such a tender age. I mean, he was just a baby at the time, and he was diagnosed with tuberous sclerosis. And that's where benign tumors can grow in the brain or other organs in the body. In Glenn's case, it was the brain, and it brought on these epileptic seizures. Tuberous sclerosis is a lifelong condition, and it can cause developmental delays. Doctors monitored, and then they managed the symptoms for some time until Glenn got into elementary school. And that was when his mom made a difficult decision of having him undergo brain surgery at Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. Neurosurgeon would remove the tumor with the hopes that it would eliminate the epilepsy, but at what cost? One of the main concerns was potentially Glenn losing his vision, but it was a risk they felt they had to take. So they took it. And you know what? Glenn did not lose his vision, and he has not had a seizure in almost 14 years. Glenn is now working as a locker room court assistant with the Detroit Pistons. Glenn Ratledge, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, bud, you remember the first time we met?
Yes, I do. November 17th, 2015,
Okay.
against Cleveland.
And how did we meet?
Actually, we were on the first row, and you stopped by and was like, hey, we want to do a little interview real quick, and did it before the game.
Yeah. Thought you nailed it. I thought you nailed the interview that day.
Yeah.
So part of your story, it was a unique story that we had learned about at that time. For our listeners that are just getting to know you for the first time, what was it that brought us together and how you got connected with the Pistons?
Well, I was a Make-A-Wish kid and contacted the Pistons at the time, and they said, hey, they would like to do a Make-A-Wish for this kid, and they did it for me and met the players. It was November 1st, 10 years ago. And I got to see practice and the players and coaches, and they invited me to a private practice to see what it's like. And they invited me to a game, and that's how me and you met.
That's how we met. And it was when you were very little, just over, 1 year old. And then you went to University of Michigan Mott Children's Hospital for emergency surgery. I know you don't obviously remember that time. Obviously, you've been able to tell that story a couple times now, but what have you been told? What are your memories of that experience of going through what at the time was, a pretty serious surgery for you and for your family?
Yeah, well, at the time we didn't know if I was gonna see normally after the surgery, like see my peripheral vision, like the side vision. It was a tough time because I couldn't like eat for a couple days. It was hard for me and all that because I was healing and I was really sick afterwards, but they said that was normal. And it was tough laying in bed, just laying there. And my whole summer was just hospital and all that, just being there, and didn't have that much free time besides laying in bed and healing from the surgery. And that was tough.
And how old were you when you underwent your first surgery?
9.
9 years old. And it's tuberous sclerosis. Is that the name?
Yep.
And that's where you'd be prone to like epileptic seizures, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And since that surgery, so obviously you guys were very hopeful, scary point in time for sure. Since that time, though, seizure free.
Yes, 15 years, knock on wood. It's impressive. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And as you mentioned, with the risk of that surgery could cause potential issues with peripheral vision and I imagine a whole byproduct of things that could happen. Now here we are, all these years later. You're standing on the floor, courtside, every home game for the Detroit Pistons, rebounding for some of the biggest stars in the game. Could you ever have imagined at that time that you would be doing what you're doing now?
I honestly wouldn't. Like, when I started, I was thinking, like, am I really here, like, on the court? And it's like I'm actually here doing my dream job. And helping out, meet some new people, and make new friends. And we all connect really well and became really close with the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, I see it obviously every day when I'm there. I see that you have like, you develop a personal relationship with these guys. Obviously, you're there to help them get ready for the games. Um, how did it come about? So, from being a Make a Wish young person to have an opportunity to go, to go see a game and obviously be around the organization. How did it go from that to then being employed by the team? And now, like I said, now in your fifth season.
Well, after Make Wish, I started talking to the equipment manager for like say 6 years on Instagram. We talked for a while and communicated for a couple years and got along really well. And he remembered when I was a Make Wish kid, and we stayed in touch over the years. And he offered me a job one day and said, "Hey, would you like to work for the Pistons?" And I was like, "Yes, I would." And here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
The equipment manager, John Commandoris, a great guy, a
Yes,
great
he
guy,
is.
and he's been at it for a long time. Every year that I've been there, this is my 12th season with the team, your fifth. Kong's been there. His nickname is Kong. He's been
Yep.
there longer than both of us combined. I know that much. Uh, how would you describe what your typical game day responsibilities are, and how they've evolved into the responsibilities that you now have?
Well, when I'm at the games, I prepare the court. Like I set the balls up for the players and put whatever needs to get out, like during the game, like the pads or towels ready, and do some stuff on the court. And during the game, I do like the towel job. So like when a player's done, I grab it and take it back to get some laundry and come back out and see if they need help with any more assistance.
Sure.
Like also during the game, I bring some warm up clothes. I take them with me and take them back to the locker room and put them on their seat during the game.
Very cool. So you get the whole behind the scenes all access pass.
Yeah.
Who would you say? I know you have a good relationship with Cade Cunningham, and I imagine all the guys. But are there a couple players when you think over the last couple of years that you've really gotten to know and gotten to like?
I have a lot of great relationships with the players. Like the great thing is we're all close and all that. We love the same sport, same hobby, and really close. And it's fun to, meet and how they are and become really close with them like a family. I call them my other family when I see them.
I love it,
But
man.
Cade, yes, me and him get along really well, and all of them are great. Like I get along with all of them
Yeah,
from the
it's
past and present.
yeah, past and present. Obviously, the team's rolling right now. There are a lot of big Pistons fans out there. I know you're a fan through and through. What's
Yeah.
it been like being a part of? Look, 2 years ago, I know you remember this, but the Pistons set the NBA mark for 28 losses in a row, and I don't know that many people thought that this team was going to be this good this quickly since that time. How much fun has it been being a part of a winning organization, and being a part of that atmosphere, one of the highest attended NBA arenas in the league this year.
Well, from that time, it was like tough to tell because it was like at start like we all start off bad at the beginning of the year. Then I was like, injuries happened and that messed the chemistry up with the injuries, and that made things like not go well for the season. Then, but I was saying like we'll be back next year, and the following year we gone to the playoffs, and the following year with JB and the new crew and the new players and the young core we have, there's a lot of bright future in these players. They have
Sure.
a bright future.
I feel like they do. I feel like they do. I feel like you do too. I know that when you have been going through everything that you had to go through, as a young man, you always you've always had this positive outlook, right? A positive mindset. Where did that come from, and how easy or how difficult is it to maintain positivity, when you're going through what to a lot of people would be a very difficult time?
Well, I just take it by day, and I always try to keep my mind happy and not get distracted. And I always stay busy on the stuff that I enjoy doing and staying active and, just stay positive every day and
Yeah.
don't let anything get to me at all. I just take it day by day and always try and put a smile on my face every day,
Yeah.
no matter what situation it is.
Well, you're always smiling every time I see you.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good, man. How important has it been? You have a sister and obviously your mom, to have a support system like that, that you can lean on in tough times.
It's great having that support because they were always there and they still are. And it's still hard to believe that they've gone through the times that I've been through in the past, and we've all been through it, and things are a better outcome. Things are better.
Yeah, that's everything, man. We're talking with Glenn Ratledge, who's one of the Pistons ball boys, also works heavily with the game day part of the courtside crew, getting all the materials ready for the guys, in addition to rebounding for the pregame work. Um, I know you yourself, Glenn, even though you're not in you are in the NBA, but you're not an NBA player. But your love of the game, man, I've seen some clips. You can play. What are some of the like? What is your? I know you play basketball all the time, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting,
Yep.
shining, whatever. What are some of the benchmarks or some of the records that you've been able to accomplish?
Well, I would say the career points, but in 3 pointers.
Yeah.
Say like how LeBron is at 50 plus. Right now in 3 pointers, I'm at 56,000 plus right now. So I still keep going when it's raining, little snow shower, and I go to the court once, 3 or 4 times a month, depends how busy we are. I shoot 3 pointers for 3 hours straight, running back and forth with no rebounder. Just
That's
shooting, no rebounder, just running back and forth,
and
going
you're
for
at
3.
56,000 makes?
Yeah, 56,700
Oh
was
my
this
god.
past Thursday, so I made 500 more again.
In a day.
Yeah, in 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. When does it end? What it gets
Well,
to
I
100,000?
would say probably maybe say 60,000, 70,000. Then after that, go back to layups or something like that. You don't want to get bored doing the same thing. Try something new again, you
I
know.
understand. Yeah. I understand. Well, that's good work ethic, you know? You got to stay with it. Shoot or shoot, you know?
Yes.
Um, all right. Lastly, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I look forward to seeing you again. Obviously, at all Pistons home games, you can look for Glenn Ratledge, working the baseline there. Um, when you look at uh, like a dream scenario for you, I always think in this position for me, this is like my dream job. Being able to cover the Detroit Pistons and be able to do it in the capacity that I do. What would be your advice for other younger people that may have aspirations, and maybe who have gone through something at a point in time where they said, well, like Glenn, that might not be realistic to be on an NBA court, with balls flying and all that stuff based on a previous condition. And you said, well, we'll try it. But what would your advice be to others, that aspire to do great things?
Well, I would say if they're going through the same situation like I did, is I just keep my head up and look day by day and just make sure I heal quick to get back to the stuff that I love doing and do not not letting it ruin my life and all that. And just stay positive and look into the future, and you'll find something you'll enjoy doing when you recover from the process and the procedure.
Yeah, you'd be like Glenn Ratledge one day. One of my favorite guys, man. I appreciate you being on the show. Glenn Ratledge now in his fifth season working with the Detroit Pistons. A big part of the success over there, and a big part of my life now that we've known each other for 10 years.
It's
So
crazy to think.
it is crazy to think, and I look forward to the next 10.
Yup.
All right, buddy. All right, I'll see
Thanks
you
for
at Little.
having me.
You got it, buddy. I'll see you at Little Caesars Arena sometime soon. And if you at home, make it down to a Pistons game. Keep your eyes peeled for Glenn, who'll be down there on the sidelines, on the baseline, and you can see him as well. What a great young guy. What a story. Glenn Ratledge, uh, always rooting you on every step of the way, and very fortunate that our paths crossed when they did. When we return, we're going to introduce you to one of the newest sanctioned sports in high school athletics here in the great state of Michigan. We're talking boys volleyball. We'll take a deep dive. You're listening to Open Mic here on WJR.